Let me put this to you, Mr. Johnson. You are the chairman of the board, okay? You're the Prime Minister of this country. You're the chairman of the board, and your job is to look at all the factors that are involved in why we have had to suffer the COVID crisis, but more importantly, how we deal with it and how we get out on the other side without wrecking the economy, okay? It does threaten the economy, but it also threatens business in a way that is unparalleled in this country. I'm going to be talking to people in the next hour on this show, maybe longer, about how it's affected them and how their lives have been changed, okay? It also affects people who now mournfully are waiting for other treatment from the National Health Service. These people have not been able to take up their appointments to have operations for what would normally be routine procedures, which are not routine anymore, okay? You've got to make a set of pragmatic decisions and pull all those things together. But you know what you're doing? You can't see further than the doom-mongering of a handful of scientists, many of whom are proven to have been wrong on previous occasions. Do you understand that? They've got a track record of not always getting it right. In fact, they've got a track record of often getting it wrong, right? You are not displaying the leadership. You are not filling us with the sort of optimism we need and hope for the future. You are wrecking the morale of the country at the same time as you're wrecking the economy. And we, the people, have had enough. Right, okay, folks. Have you got the general idea about what we're going to be doing today? I want to get into the whole meat and drink of the COVID story and why politicians led by Mr. Johnson seem happy to take us down a route which is going to end up with us being an impoverished country at the end of it all. You can't have a great country if you've got an economy that's flat on its back. I've read ridiculous figures only this morning saying, oh, don't worry, 2.5% increase in the last month in the economic cycle. 2.5% growth. 2.5% growth from a deficit of 20% is not great. It's awful. And we're 12.5% behind what we were this time last year and in April. So it's pathetic. It's not coming back and it's not coming right. Okay? Now, what I'm going to say to you before I get to my first guest is this. It could be on Monday, and this is why I'm so irate, okay? So we're just 2 days away from possibly more draconian measures which will further ruin this great country of ours. We are a great country. We are one of the leading economies in the world. We've got to lead the way. So on Monday, we could be looking at more lockdowns in the north, okay? Scotland has already gone that way. I have absolutely no idea what Ms. Nicola Sturgeon is up to. She's the boss up there in Scotland, closing things down in Edinburgh and Glasgow. Do you not know that Edinburgh and Glasgow are two of the really great go-ahead cities in the United Kingdom, okay? I've been to both of them. I've spent time there. I've worked with people. I've met the people. They don't want to be locked down. They want to be up and at it, okay? They're robust, energetic, dynamic and commercial people. And to close down their businesses is a sin. And I do not want to see that replicated here in England, particularly Northern England, which is close to my heart. I'm a northern boy, and I believe that the north of England is one of the greatest areas of the globe, okay? So what is the point of lockdowns? What is the point of lockdowns? Figures today say this, for instance, okay? These are official figures. Just 30 outbreaks have been linked to pubs and restaurants last week. Just 30 COVID outbreaks, right? Out of thousands, which, by the way, is still minimal compared to what was happening in April. Only 0.1% of the whole population are affected by coronavirus. Let me remind you of that. But only 30 outbreaks linked to pubs and restaurants last week. That's because I've been banging the drum and telling you, and I'll tell you again, to be in a pub or a restaurant in this country now is one of the safest places in the world against COVID. I promise you it is. The rules and regulations covering pubs are being adhered to absolutely brilliantly by the people who run them. My old mate Tim Martin, who is head of Wetherspoons, has said time and time again, if you want to feel really safe from the COVID virus, then get yourself into one of my pubs because people are safe there. Let me ask you this question to all of you. Let me ask you this question, right? Do you know anybody who has contracted COVID? Do you? Because I don't. I don't, okay? And the reason I don't is because I mix in a very wide circle, but it doesn't happen very often. Worse still, and I do not wish to bring any doom or gloom on anybody, do you know anybody who's died of COVID? If you do, it's very, very sad. But I bet you those instances are few and far apart, okay? Weeping landlords in Liverpool and Manchester and Leeds is going to be a feature of the next few days because you closed down somebody's business and he spent 30 years trying to build it up. Then you are destroying a person's lifetime. There's plenty of female bar owners in this country as well who I've spoken to, and they are no less sentimentally damaged by losing their businesses. I'm not doing this for the sake of a drink. I'm doing this because the British pub, the British restaurant, is an institution. It's also a great driver for the economy. It's also great for our mental health. But basically, it's British. And we can't kill it and see hundreds, if not thousands of pubs not open after this ghastly COVID goes away. OK, folks, now I want you all to join in today with me, please, because as I said, it's Put the Boot in Boris Day here on Talk Radio, and I'm leading the way. The number is 0344 499 1000. Let me read that again. I'm sorry. It was almost like 999, wasn't it? Right. It's 0344 499 1000. Please give me a call because I want to know whether you people out there, the meat and drink of the populace in this country, feel like I do. Outraged at the fact that businesses are going to go down. Outraged that people's livelihoods are going. Outraged that the whole blinking thing seems so utterly pointless to me.